Yo, what's good? We live? Are we live? Oh yeah, we live, bro. I'm shaking up like my concoction over here on live stream. What's good, man? This is Dan Man. Most of you already know who I am because I have a lot of returning subscribers to all of my content, and I want to react to this video. And let's not even waste anybody's time trying to introduce this guy. If you don't know who this guy is, go look him up. And so let's go, man. And so I have the chat going and things like that, so we can stop for questions and stuff, but I'll try to stop at a reasonable speed, and we can discuss stuff, you know, if it's worth discussing, obviously. So
what is going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in to my talk, which is the variable is what you make of it. And by that, x could be equals to 1, which means it's normally an integer, but there's no reason you can't redeclare that into a string because you control the universe around it. There is no spoon to bend because you can bend reality. X doesn't have to be a programming thing. It could be a negative experience in your life, but you look at all the positive things that came out of it and willed that negative into being a positive, which is one of the best things you can do for your mental health. And yes, this talk's going to get both into technical and mental things because it's all the advice I wish I had a decade ago. So with that being said, let's get over into the agenda because I know I'm going to lose some people at some point, so hopefully knowing these things come next keeps you interested in the talk. So starting off, I'm going to do the intro. Who am I?
So it's interesting that he said that he would lose people eventually. YouTubers worry with that a lot, like retention and stuff like that. I don't want to, speak for this man, but with the length of his videos and like how technical they are and how deep they are, he probably, people probably watch his videos up until like probably the Go Buster part, and then they leave. You feel me? Because like a lot of like it's hard, even if you're like super technical, it's hard to stick around for his whole videos, and he probably deals with a retention issue. Again, I don't want to put words in the man's mouth, but I'm guessing that's why he said that.
I'm going to put a different spin on it and talk about my journey instead of all the places I've worked because places I worked aren't really that interesting. Then we're going to get into the technical tips about keeping it simple, the importance of recon, and how to ask questions, which, yes, I put under a technical thing because it's something you should be doing like all the time, right? After that, we're going to go into keeping a positive mindset by stopping the use of words like fail and just what a learning curve is, because I find that to be very important. And then finally, we're going to wrap it up with the reason behind the title of this talk, which is life is what you make of it, how to not do the bare minimum and go beyond. So who am I? Well, currently, I'm a senior lab architect at Hack the Box.
So, I mean, I don't mean to keep stopping, but I do want to do a video. What's up? What was that? What does that say? Damn, I cannot read my chat today. What in the hell? Hold on, somebody just restore chat. Why did it work? Yeah, I can't read my chat, man. I don't know what's going on, yo. Like chat's mad small today. Let me put it up on my phone. But what I wanted to say there is we patch boxes and stuff like that. I love the patch boxes after like we root them, especially on Hack the Box, because Hack the Box is cutting edge when it comes to this shit. And yeah. Are we doing the thing after this video is over? I guess you're talking about Battlegrounds or something. I don't know. We'll see. Well, it depends if we, if this video goes smoothly, which I'm thinking it is, then we'll see. Let's keep it rolling because I don't want to keep stopping here. How the fuck do I? Oh, keep going. Probably threw it off a little bit.
Which I find to be a funny title because no one really knows what that title means until you look at it in depth. If you abbreviate it, it's SLA, Service Level Agreement, which generally means quality assurance, QA, right? And that's mostly my job, right? I just go between all the departments of Hack the Box and make sure that people are up to like my standards or try to help them, right? A lot of people don't like QA roles. It's not a coveted job title because generally they don't go beyond the bare minimum and just follow a playbook. But me, I generally try to raise the bar wherever I go. So I interact with the community team, which I'm talking to you now, guys. And then I go over to the content
so
team.
I'm going to skip a little of this because I want to get into the technical content. Don't mind me, bro.
Infrastructure things. Sometimes I do development, add features, or fix bad things on the site. We're a funny story because when Hack the Box started, we didn't have a concept of retired videos or retired machines, which meant you can't talk about any machine ever. There was no talking about machines. It was all like the try-harder mentality. Eventually, they started retiring machines. I started doing YouTube videos and became a moderator at the site. And when I became a moderator,
he became a moderator. So yeah.
Like that. Previous to Hack the Box, I was a sysadmin, security, purple teamer, developer. It's an interesting story,
I don't want to comment on this man's life. I have no interest in it. Like, you know, I'm not judging nobody's life, bro. So I'm gonna skip until like the actual stuff where he's giving like advice.
Yes, that's right. So my hesitate. And I say all that because
so yeah, we're skipping the who am I
the
part.
Correct ones. They're probably
if
wrong.
You want to go check that out, obviously go to the man's video. But again, I'm not judging man's life.
The answer is probably somewhere between my opinion and your opinion. So take what resonates with you ahead and just use this as food for thought, I guess, right? So my first opinion that I'll shout from a rooftop is hacking is an art and not a science. By that, I mean hacking really benefits from a little bit of human intuition. If it was a problem that can be solved programmatically easily, then companies like Tenable with Nessus or Rapid7 with NextPose, before Nessus, there was Retina, security scanners have been around forever. They would have solved this problem. It's not an easy problem to solve because of that human intuition. And I find it kind of funny because whenever someone starts out in the field, they start off with a bad flowchart. Because it goes very much like a program would do, right? They all just run all these tools and say, I'm going to run Nmap. I see it has a web server, so I'm going to run Nikto, GoBuster, Pharaohbuster, because those do web servery things. Then I see a login page. I'm going to run SQL map to see if it's SQL injectable. I don't know what this variable is, so I'm going to run TPL map because I don't know what this program does, but I had good results in the past, or I saw someone run it once upon a time, so I'm just going to always add this into my workflow. Then I'm going to run Burp Suite scanners, SQL injection payloads, and eventually you have this giant haystack, and there's this very small needle that you're looking for that is the vulnerability, but you put so much information around it, you've obscured it, right? I don't like these tool-based flowcharts. If I see this,
So I'm going to stop because I'm probably in a minute, but same shit happened to me on my first OSCP, bro. Tool-based, trying to hack tool-based. That's it. When you get into this field or when you get into ethical hacking and OSCP, you want a flowchart, obviously, and I'm telling you, tools will overwhelm the shit out of you. With my experience with auto recon, that's exactly what the fuck auto recon did. Again, I love what Tiberius, the contributions Tiberius tries to bring to the table, and I appreciate the ambition. But bro, auto recon did exactly that. It was so much information that the needle was so small, and I'm looking back on my first OSCP attempt and I'm thinking, man, I probably could have got it because I don't want to call it easy, but when I'm looking at my experience now, it probably, like, my first attempt was probably like those boxes were probably easy compared to some of the shit that I do on a daily basis now. So yes, overwhelming yourself with like a tool based, but it's interesting because until he brought this up, it's like that's how I wanted to do it. That's how I tell everyone else to do it. So I'm curious to see what he has.
I follow a much more question-based thing, right? It's kind of more of a social concept. What ports are open? What applications are these? I don't say the ports tied to Nmap because you may not always use Nmap to find the port. Sometimes you just use netstat, right, if you're on the box. Does this cookie name mean anything? Because often the cookie will link what framework it is, what language it is. PHP loves PHP session ID. Java loves J session ID. So you can identify the languages. Sometimes fields just look injectable. Your spidey sense goes off. I'm not saying don't run tools, but whenever I run a tool, I think, like, will a tool answer this question? Because every time you ask a question, the haystack is so small, you know what you're looking for. And since the haystack's small, the needle stands out more. So You get the small haystack, look for the needle, don't see it, ask another question, build upon that, look for the needle, don't see it, and just keep that pattern going, right? So keep it simple.
How? Hold up. How could you not go deeper there? That is gold. You could do a video on that alone and kill it. That is crazy. Like, nobody else is talking about this. Let me tell you something about technique-based hacking, bro. So, as a threat hunter, can I say this on live stream? Let me see. I probably can, bro. What we do in my organization is something called analytic-based threat hunting. Now, we call it something else. But I talked about it on one of my videos. Some of you watched it, most of you didn't. It wasn't a very popular video. But essentially, when you build a threat hunting plan, you want to go off of questions. Now, in the video, I talked about how questions, though. Like, I mean, he follows different types of what, does, and things like that, which is fine. But man, I wish I could show you a actual analytic plan. But we start with a question, and we try to match a question with a query. So we try to match a question with a query. That's one of my worst words. That and brewery. I can't, for some reason, I can't say query and brewery. Like, that's super hard for me to say. Anyway, we match a question with an IOC and a query. And so that whole analytic process takes a lot of time and a lot of discussion. And we're going to have to do a video on that. It's interesting because first of all, we get a lot of success by doing that. And it proves to you, just like hacking, you always need a human to hack. You always need a human to threat hunt as well, because they're both the same analytical mindset. And so it's crazy that he was like 30 seconds on this topic when you can just go so deep into it. And when right now the whole community is so misled on tool-based flowchart. Like, even me, like, I was like on this shit, like, but yeah, you gotta be question based, and that's brilliant from a hacker standpoint. I was already on this from a threat hunter standpoint, but maybe we make a video. Maybe he could kill this, bro. Like, you really could change the game with this shit.
Don't see it, ask another question, build upon that, look for the needle, don't see it, and just keep that pattern on a server, right? A lot of people may just go straight into throwing a reverse shell. And this is just a simple thing that gets you a command line access to a Linux server remotely, right? But there's a lot of ways this can fail. And when something fails, you don't know why it failed. You can ask, like, any question you ask the server, it's going to return a Boolean, yes or no, back to you, right? So you're going to ask, hey, send me this shell. And it's going to respond no. You don't know what question it responded no to. You may not be in Bash. It may not be a Linux box, because it could be BSD, Solaris, Windows, whatever. Maybe the server didn't understand all those special redirection characters, like that greater than ampersand thing. Maybe port 9001 was blocked. Maybe the server didn't block you. Maybe the network did. Maybe AV or EDR blocked access to Bash. There's 100 ways this command can fail, and all you know is the command failed, not why, right? So if you keep it simple, then you can extract information out of that, right? If you didn't do the reverse shell first and just did ping attacker.com, ICMP is going to be allowed to the firewall more often than TCP, so maybe you get a response there. If not, ping generally takes a while to run, so maybe the request takes longer. If for some reason both of those were no, you may still get a DNS request if the box tried to resolve attacker.com to you, right? So there's two different ways you're trying to traverse the firewall. ICMP works most of the time. DNS works almost always. If you don't have RCE, you can just test it off with like an echo test. And if you don't see the word echo in the response, but you see the word test, chances are it processed that. Or you can just go the sleep route and do a time-based and see if the page takes long to respond, right? There's a lot of ways you can keep it simple, so when it fails, you know why it failed, right? Either you're trying to get it so it fails, and you know it failed because it's not vulnerable, not it failed because something blocked you, right? I find that to be very important. So keeping along.
I wish he would have done a demo on this. So I don't think that this was executed very well. I understand exactly what he's saying, but I can see how this could be confusing. So What he this would have been gold if he would have kept the same technique based. That's what he called it, technique based thought, to where he says he came out with a plan, and he probably could have said something like, does ping work? Yes, no. Yes, okay. Does bash-i whatever work? Yes, no. It doesn't. Okay. Does echo, test, or sleep 5 work? Yes or no. He could have done that. He could have done an example here based off of the last slide, and that would have been a lot more understandable. And then if he would have demoed it, I guess he couldn't demo it because he probably didn't have the time. That would have been dope too. That's my first thing I want to say about this. The second thing I want to say about this is this saved my ass on the OSCP, bro. I had an RCE there was an RCE CVE on a certain box, and immediately I went for ping first. And the reason I did that is I felt like I didn't want to take a chance on trying a payload and it failing and then me moving on. So I really wanted to ask myself, like, first thing I asked myself is, does ping work? Yes, no, it does. Okay. Then I tried a netcat reverse shell or something like that. One of the two. Probably, I think I did try netcat or something or whatever. But when I tried that, certain things started failing. The third one here, he says, is port 9000. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. Okay, so he did kind of use the question-based flow. Okay, I wasn't even paying attention there. So yeah, this is a good slide. It's port 9001 block, because the thing is, that's exactly what happened. Like, all my favorite ports were blocked, and I ended up having to to defeat the firewall based on something that was well known. You feel me? So this is like mad relevant. This slide is mad relevant. And then I did want to say, so the DNS request thing. I would probably just go with the IP here. I don't want to. I'm ignorant here in a way, because I don't know how relevant this is when it comes to an actual pen test, because I'm not a pen tester, bro. But I would tell you, like, being an ethical hacker in my spare time, like here, if I were doing a regular box, I would just ping the IP. Like, I wouldn't try to make, I think a lot of us get it, but I wouldn't try to make my my testing, when I'm trying to test for remote code execution, I wouldn't try to make that resolve to a name, right? Because you probably don't have that set up, and it's probably not worth it to set that up. Good slide. It's a little bit, when you try to, like, listen to him and then try to read the slide, it's a little bit, it's not perfect. But yeah, getting the point across,
something blocked you, right?
When you actually think about
it. We have a server-side
it sucks that he couldn't
keeping along this
walk through it.
Mindset, ask simple questions, right? Had to be very important. So keeping along this mindset, ask simple questions, right? Let's say we have a server-side template injection, which is looks like a complicated exploit if you're not familiar with this, but you can notice it's doing this thing. I want to say this is the Jinja 2 template. Essentially, it's an attack in rendering engines, right? Python web developers have this web page that they create in HTML, and then they put these two brackets around it to put variables from the programming language into the page so the user gets dynamic content, right? And this is a valid template, right? It's got two squigglies here, two squigglies here. There's no mismatch, so the templating language is going to process it. It fails, it just returns nothing, right? It doesn't error out, it returns nothing, which makes it hard to identify. If this failed, you just get a blank spot where it failed, versus if you just sent one squiggly bracket, you may cause an error in the whole templating language itself and get nothing back from the page, like error 500, right? So at this point, you may be asking, well, if I keep it this simple and just ask questions one character at a time, it's going to take forever, right? Yeah. But that's why fuzzing exists. So okay, yeah, I like using tools like
simple questions. He explained that beautifully. This guy's a fucking
fuzz faster, bro. You fool, or wfuzz, which is a Python version of this. Search.request, this is just a HTTP request. I put fuzz in capital letters where I want to send the input to the web page. Special characters.text, This is just a text file that contains all the special characters, right? And then MC all, this is going to be match code all. By default, FUF doesn't match all status codes, and I want it to match it all, so I see every result. So what you get is us sending the percent to the web server and then the response back. Us sending the asterisk to the web server and the response back, right? So we can ask the server many questions really quick and glance and see the answers, right? If you want to know more about this, check out the Academy course, or just go to ipsec.rocks and type FUF. So let's play a game. Guess that vulnerability from FUF output, right? Looking at this, you see two things stick out. There's the size 61 at 2 places. This one's kind of a false positive. The ampersand's a weird character when it comes to this, because FUF, if you don't tell it to, doesn't URL encode anything, and the ampersand's used as a delimiter for variables, so oftentimes the web server just ignores it. The key one is the single quote. In this case, it's an SQL injection. It's not always going to be an SQL injection. It goes back to creating an uneven number of quotes, squiggly brackets, whatever.
Like
but more often than not, it's going to be SQL injection, because databases are very common on web applications, much more common than executing system commands. So that's why it's SQL injection, just because more common than not. The key thing here is I'd ask the server, what happens if I send you a single quote? And the server is like, error. And you're like, okay, I'm going to experiment on this more, right? So that was fun. Let's do it again. This one changes quite a bit. The web server on this hand is echoing the results back to us. And there's a lot of weird things, like we see the greater than sign has a different size than most things. And the reason for that is actually a protection in place. If you don't filter out these characters, the greater than and less than sign, then it's probably going to be vulnerable to cross-site scripting, because the attacker can put HTML characters on the page. So how it works under the hood is the web server translates this into, I think, an ampersand GT semicolon for greater than. And then whenever the web browser displays it displays it as a greater than sign, but doesn't treat it as HTML, so it's not vulnerable to cross-site scripting. The key thing here, though, is the error 500 codes when it sees squiggly brackets, and that tells me I should go into server-side template injection and look at it more, right? But it's not all about fuzzing. Also, reading between the lines is very important. So here we have a bunch of nmap output. The key things here, probably I would point out the Nginx server header, and then also a JSession ID. When you see Nginx and Tomcat, chances are there's going to be some type of URL parsing bugs. You can look at the orange side presentations, or you can just go to ipsec.rocks, type in Nginx Tomcat or Apache Tomcat, and find some relevant videos, right? So this is reading between the lines. Nmap's not telling us there's a vulnerability, but because we can combine two things, we know we probably should look for a vulnerability. It doesn't mean there isn't one, just means this is the path we should go down, right? We read between those two lines and saw something. Next one. This is a bit more tricky that I think most people would miss. The thing that stands right out is this workzug server header, which isn't a great thing. It's just a Python web server, but that's not what I want to point.
So he just called that a web server, which, I mean, I get it. Like, people make mistakes, but let me see something real quick. What is it called? Workzug. I'm pretty sure it's not a server. Which I get it. I'm like splitting hairs here and being petty, but I talked about yesterday, I talked about how sometimes we will say stuff. And of course he probably knows that it's not a web server. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Yeah. So it's a web application library, which really, it just like, I don't even know how to explain a web application library. It just provides things, from what I understand. I don't know. Web application library. What is a web application library? Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it is it can, I guess it can be. Maybe it can be considered a server, but I do know that people don't consider Workzug a server. So I mean, it's one of those things like again where it's like we have to kind of decide on what we're calling things. And right now, if you just Googled, let me go back just one more time just to make sure. My shit is all over the place. How do you spell it? Work Zug? Shit, I fucked that up. And again, I don't mean to. Oh, okay. Maybe so. Yeah. So it's one of those things where like if we don't start watching the way that we what we name things, we could get we already like as cybersecurity professionals, my bad for the changing screens here. As cybersecurity professionals, we accrue technical debt as a whole realm when we mislabel things, especially if you're on Ippsec level. So that's kind of like my criticism toward the video here is please don't, if it's not considered a web server, if the people that put it out don't consider it a web server, please don't call it a web server. Please don't call a dictionary attack a brute force attack, but everybody does it. Like, please don't do these things.
Point out here. What I want to point out here is the SSH banner. You notice something odd here in this Python?
The technical debt that we're going to accrue in the future is going to be it's going to be too much if we keep doing these things.
The SSH banner says it's Ubuntu Bionic, which is an old version of Ubuntu. Generally, it has, I think, Python 3.6, and we have a Python 3.10 banner here. Most of the time, developers don't install a different version of Python than what comes with the operating system, because that just creates a bunch of mess. So here, there's probably either network address translation, NAT into play, or it's running Docker, right? And if it's a Ubuntu box itself, chances are it's going to be running some type of virtualization technology like Docker. And in this sense, knowing Docker is handy to us because
how do you make that jump?
Docker is a very stripped down OS. So when
how do you make that jump? You can't just make that jump like that, bro. You can't just make that jump like that. Like, maybe he built the box and maybe he knows what's going on, but you can't just say, okay, based on, well, I guess you can deduce, because if certain things don't make sense, let's jump to the thing that makes the most sense and then just put a question behind it. So instead of framing it like this, he could have framed it like, question, is the victim using containerization technology? Or virtualization technology, I guess you could kind of say that, but I would go with containerization. Is the victim using Docker here? Because it doesn't make sense for Python, two versions of a Python to be on the same server. But I don't even know how he got the fact that there are two versions of Python here, because that is like not common information here. I wish there was a way. I wish there was a course that talked about stuff like that.
We try Earth.
I guess it's like that human intuition that he was saying.
Things, chances are things
bro.
Like ping and stuff won't be on the box. So we know not to try that, or if it fails, it may have failed because ping didn't exist, which in most cases is unique, but not in Docker, right? So this is the little bit of information we can extract.
Like for ping and stuff like that, that's something that I got my ass kicked with several times. Certain things aren't going to be on Docker containers, ping and such like that. You gotta bring them there.
Banners if that you ever, happens if you read between the lines. The final one, it's so easy. You could probably search anything on it, so we're not going to play a game. If you ever get an error page that doesn't say Apache or Nginx, there's probably something on that page that can tell you where that error came from. You may think white label error page is a common string, but if you just Google this, it tells you it's the Spring Boot framework, which then opens up a lot of new possibilities that you can attack. Spring Boot, vulnerable to server-side template injection. It's Java, so there's the
that's good to know.
Log4j thing that just
Spring Boot. If you get Spring Boot on the box, just automatically think, well, according to him, I don't know, I haven't tested it out. But try server-side template injection and then log4j.
Came out. There's a bunch of Tomcat type
Log4j.
exploits you can try. You can
It's
try that
Log4j.
URL parsing bug. There's just a lot of things you can try. Maybe Java deserialization, just different attack paths that open up once you know what the framework is. And at this point, you're probably saying, wow, this is a lot of information. How do you learn all of this stuff? Because we're not really taught it. And the reason why I learned this is because I understand the importance of asking questions. I love questions.
Yeah.
I ask myself questions. I ask other people questions. I ask my dog questions. I ask my computer questions. I ask my drinks questions. Like, I always question everything, which sometimes is annoying, but that's how I learn, right?
Chill,
I find a lot of people only ask questions when they're
Ippsec.
having trouble because they use it as a way to keep them motivated and stop banging their head against the wall. The next important thing you can do is ask questions when you complete something. So both you and your friend completed a box, ask them how they completed it, see how they did it, see if they did anything better than you, build up your framework that way. And then finally, I always like asking myself questions. So if I did something and there was a step I didn't like, I'm like, okay, let's remove that step. Maybe I guessed completely here. Was there anything I missed on this box now that I have root that I could have done in order to find this answer differently, right? Also, questions will help you make friends and build relationships that set you up for success later. But asking questions is not...
All right, all bullshit aside though, like all jokes aside, that is probably the reason this man is so good, is why he's so respected, is because he's humble enough to, after he completes a box, he'll go to the creator and he'll ask the creator, what was the intent here? Did I do this the intended way? What else did I miss? Like, he's that type of guy, and he said it several times. And that's one of those things where it's like when the regular user gets on Hack the Box, if they can't do it, they may hit the forum. Like, I feel like out of everyone that tries a Hack the Box machine, maybe 10% of those guys go to the forum and ask questions. That takes a lot of humility, and it takes a lot of what's the word that I'm looking for? It takes a lot of drive and ambition to have to spend the time and effort to do that. I think out of those 10%, probably 10% of those guys go forward and try to contact the creator. So he's one of those guys that would try to contact the creator. But most people would be like, you know, fuck this shit, bro. I'm not gonna get it. I'll probably go on to another box. But Hack the Box is meant, because you have guys like Ippsec working at Hack the Box. It's clear that Hack the Box does not want to make it, even if it's easy, they don't want to make it to where you can run a scanner through the whole box and be like, oh, there's a user, there's root. Like, they don't want you to do that. They want to make sure that a human would need to look at it and analyze the entire thing and run some analytical thinking on it. So Hack the Box makes sense to me now. Like, you have to have a technique-based plan for Hack the Box. Otherwise, you're gonna want to, if you go at Hack the Box with a tool-based plan, he's saying here, well, he's not really saying it, but from what I'm taking from this is if you take a tool-based plan to Hack the Box, you're gonna fail. Like, you're not gonna have it's not gonna be a walk in the park over there. Like, that's not gonna be a walk in the park, bro. And which is this video is gold, bro. You probably already know that.
Easy. There's a art to asking questions. I find a lot of people fall into the game of tag quite often when they ask a question.
Yes.
I always hate when I see a message
that
that just says, hey, may I ask a question? You already did, right? It's better to bait them into a question by explaining where you're at and how hard you've tried. If you just come to me and say, hey, I'm having trouble with this UniCTF challenge, I'm going to be like, well, I don't know how to help you, and just move on with my life, right? But if you go and explain what challenge you're having, the things you've tried, by just explaining it to yourself, chances are you realize what you missed and may answer the question yourself, or you may bait the person into answering the question for you. An example question I have is, hey, I'm doing this challenge. I've proven cross-site scripting with HTML tags, but I'm having trouble bypassing a filter that I believe is blocking IP addresses because of blank, right? And the answer here is URL encoding the IP address. Like, an IP address could be 127.0.0.1.
Okay, I'm going to stop here because this is just too golden. And so I remember it was one of the live streams. It probably was like 50 live streams ago. I had this user that came on. His name was Scary, bro. His name was Scary. And I think he asked the question to the tune of, what degree do I get in cybersecurity, or what path should I take in cybersecurity, something like that. And I kind of corrected him on live stream. I didn't want to embarrass him, but I did want him to understand that, like, when you ask questions like that, like, you will turn a lot of people off, and people won't want to answer the question. And he's explaining it right here. Like, if you want to interact with Ippsec, which he's not really like super great at answering questions. Let's just get that out of the way. Like, I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like, I mean, but it's probably because he gets so much engagement from the public. So maybe that's not even his fault. But if you want to engage with a guy like him, he's telling you how to do that. Probably the second bullet here, what he says, show where you're at and how hard you've tried. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people, like, I would say 90% of people just want the answer, or they just want IDRSA, or they just want root. And you have to prove to the person that you're asking the question to, you have to prove to them that you've done the work, that you don't want it easy, and you're willing to work for it. Otherwise, people are going to be like, bro, I'm not helping this guy. And so it even goes back to the question where it's like, what degree should I choose? Like, what cert should I get? Like, show the person that you're asking that you've done the research and you're having trouble with it. Otherwise, people are just going to, like, keep going past that question. And this works outside of cybersecurity and ethical hacking. Like, if you're interacting with your favorite YouTuber and you have a question, bro, show them how hard you try, show them how hard you work. Still, like, a lot of people are notoriously shitty at answering questions or responding to comments. I'm not great at it, but I try to be as much good as possible at answering everyone's questions. But yeah, so that's just good advice he's telling you how to interact with him. I do think that there's another aspect that he's probably missing here. I think that, and this is just inevitable with human nature, Ippsec is more likely to respond to John Hammond than he is to me. And I'm not being salty about that. That's just the nature of the world. People respond quicker to people with status because at the end of the day, if there's a question between Ippsec and John Hammond, more people are likely to tune into that than they are to tune into him and me, because still I'm relatively unknown here. So does it make sense? So if you ask them a question, it's probably going to go like under the bridge or under the water, or like nobody's going to, like, I don't want to say nobody's going to care, but he's going to be less inclined to answer that than if like John Hammond asks him a question, or like I don't know, just insert like Network Chuck or one of the big Twitter guys asks him a question, right? I bring it up to say, like, right now, I'm probably your best source, and I'm not trying to take nobody, not his subscribers or whatever the case, but people like me, like small YouTubers, if you have questions, ask us, and you'll more likely get a more quality answer. We'll pay attention to your needs a lot better than a guy like Ippsec can, or a guy like anyone that's got like major success on this thing. And I will tell you, the smaller YouTubers are equally or even more qualified than people like Ippsec, or people like, I'm not trying to make a comparison here or say who's better, who's worse, but we all are, regardless of whatever you want to say about it, we all generally are peers. If we have taken a step onto YouTube and put ourselves out there, I consider us all peers, regardless of how the big YouTubers may want to see us. So a long ass rant. I'm just saying, basically, have your strategy ready when you want to ask questions.
That prevents you from using 0x7f, which is 127.00.0001. So 127.001 in hex, and it resolves. If you don't believe me, go open up a command prompt, type ping 0x7f000001, and you'll be amazed that it pings localhost, right?
Yeah.
I like this question because it actually baited me into Hack the Box. This is from the Holiday Machine. Someone asked me this question. I was like, wow, that was very creative. Somehow I knew the answer. And I was like, where'd you like run into this? I want to do more of this. And that was Hack the Box. So that's what got me on the platform. So the question not only helped the person asking it, but helped me, because if they didn't ask it, I may not be on Hack the Box, and I may be at a completely different point in life right now, right? So questions help everyone. once you ask a lot of questions, you also have to keep a positive mindset. A lot of people may ignore you. You can't take that as a negative. Just move on with your life. Also, this is going to be a hard field. It requires a lot of time. And there's always this unrealistic jack of all trades expectation set of you, right? Because you're the attacker. The defender, they get to build the playing field. They build it how they want. They research the technologies they put in place. They know the frameworks. You may not know Django, Flask, Spring Boot, whatever, but you have a good enough foundation because you spent so much time learning this that all those frameworks boil down to HTTP. You can intercept the packets in Burp Suite and just turn the battlefield into one you're familiar with, right? I think another reason this field is hard is because of certifications. If you look at the blue team field, all the certifications are vendor-based. And I think that makes it a bit easier because there's another motivation for you getting certified that most people don't think about. So if you think of blue team certifications, Microsoft, Red Hat, Cisco, Juniper, like all the vendors produce these things, right? And if I'm a CCNA, which is a relatively entry-level Cisco certification, right? Microsoft, Red Hat, Cisco, people don't think about.
My bad, yo. My bad.
So if you think of blue team certifications, Microsoft, Red Hat, Cisco, Juniper, like all the vendors produce these things, right? And if I'm a CCNA, which is a relatively, think of blue team certifications, Microsoft, certifications put into the playing field. They build it how they want. They research the technology. This is unpositive. I may be at a completely different point in life right now, right? So questions help everyone. Once you ask a lot of questions, you also have to keep a positive mindset. A lot of people may ignore you. You can't take that as a negative. Just move on with your life. Also, this is going to be a hard field. It requires a lot of time. And there's always this unrealistic jack of all trades expectation set of you, right? Because you're the attacker. The defender, they get to build a playing field. They build it how they want. They research the technologies they put in place. They know the frameworks. You may not know Django, Flask, Spring Boot, whatever, but you have a good enough foundation because you spent so much time learning this that all those frameworks boil down to HTTP. You can intercept the packets in Burp Suite and just turn the battlefield into one you're familiar with, right? I think another reason this field is hard is because of certifications. If you look at the blue team field, all the certifications are vendor-based. And I think that makes it a bit easier because there's another motivation for you getting certified.
I mean, he said all there. I mean, we all know that you can't just use the word all, but I mean, we all understand what he really means, right? Like blue team certifications, if you think of like Microsoft has a bunch of certifications, there are. So I think by blue team, what he really meant is when it comes to sysadmin certifications, a lot of sysadmin certifications are vendor-based. And by vendor-based, what he means is like Microsoft or like you'll have a cloud like Amazon. I forgot what the Amazon cloud builder cert is. That's what he means. But he actually said the word blue teamer, which blue teamer is in the SOC analyst / threat hunter realm. We do have certifications from like offensive security now and SANS that focus strictly on threat hunting and protecting infrastructure. So, I mean, he probably, when he said all, he really probably meant most or whatever. So just keeping that in mind. This like it's I just wanted to separate that because again, we get a lot of, if we don't be like definite and precise in what we're saying, like, yeah, maybe it doesn't really matter because this is one video, but over time, if we build up that technical debt, we're screwed.
Certified that most people don't think about. So if you think of blue team certifications, Microsoft, Red Hat, Cisco, Juniper,
he's
like all the vendors
really
produce these things, right? And if I'm a CCN
administration and development, what's the word? Architecture type certifications. He's not talking about blue team, actual blue team certifications.
Which is a relatively entry-level Cisco certification, I'm not going to recommend a company buy Juniper equipment. And if I get hired for a CCNA networking position, the company's not going to be like, great, you're a CCNA, we hired you. Here's a bunch of Juniper equipment. Good luck, hope you can understand it. That just doesn't happen. Well, it probably does, but it shouldn't happen, right? So when you're a blue team, the certifications convert you into like a mini advertisement for that company, right?
Yes.
In the offensive security space, we don't really have that. Like SANS, offensive security, hack the box, all of us, like we teach techniques. We're not really a vendor-based solution, right? And that creates a lot of learning curves, which can be demotivating. Essentially, the learning curve, think of riding a bike. It was really tough until you did it, and then it was easy. If you don't believe me that this field is a learning curve, ask anyone taking OSCP. They're going to say it's the hardest thing they've ever done. Then wait a month or two once they pass, and then ask them again. They're going to say, what took me so long, right? Generally, that means there's a learning curve. You change your mindset, and then this field becomes easy. And I think the mindset that you have to change is learning how to troubleshoot things properly and thinking on a question-based thing and not a tool-based thing. I think those two things
it's your birthday,
will help
bro?
you get into this field.
Yeah, it's
The
your
other
birthday?
reason why it's hard to keep a positive mindset other than learning
happy
is
birthday,
security
yo.
wins on others' failures.
That's
So
that's
if you
dope.
ask anyone that's in the field, they generally do the same.
I don't mean to interrupt this dude. My daughter turns 15 and next Monday, yo. So we got like, that's dope, bro. Yeah. 18. I don't know what 18 means in your country. I don't want to put your country out there, but I have a general idea of where you are in the world here. I got a map up here, by the way, and I wonder what it means to be 18 in your country. In America, it means a certain. It's a big step. It means, first of all, it means you're an adult. So that's why it's so important to us. 18 is important to us. It also means that you can go to war. I know in certain countries you can go to war like a lot younger and stuff like that. But 18 is an important age, bro. 18 also is important because according to studies on the brain, that is when your brain is at its peak condition for learning. Like you would never be more your brain will never be more high functioning than it is at this very moment. Like now you are on a decline. Now you may not feel that decline, and you may end up actually learning faster throughout your life as you learn different ways to learn faster. But the core principle remains the same in that like your brain is at its most powerful at this very moment, bro. So just keep that in mind. And when I was giving you guys the advice on like protecting your brain, stay away from drugs, stay away from alcohol, try your best to stay away from like bad foods and pollution and things like that, just so that you protect your nugget, bro. That's important. And if I would have done that when I was younger, I would be so far ahead right now. And I didn't. So that's probably like one regret about life.
Same thing over and over again. Why do people click on these phishing emails? Why don't people update? No one checks these alerts. It's so easy to fall into those negative things instead of thinking about positives. And when you keep thinking about negatives, your brain's going to lead to negative things more often than not. And things that you used to think as positive experiences, since you've like hardwired your brain to treat more things as negative, you'll lead into negative things and become a negative person over time, which just is not good. So
yeah, he's talking about
the easiest way to not become a negative person is eliminating the word fail from your vocabulary. You did not fail. Try to look at the positives, right? You're taking a test, you didn't get the outcome you want. Well, you learned what you didn't know, which is a very hard thing to learn. If you're on a job, say a company hired you to hack them, and they stopped you, highlight how they stopped you. Highlight all the defenses. A company, when they get hire for a pen test, they want to hear how good they are. They don't want to hear how bad they are. So you're not going to upset them by handing them a report that says all these blinking boxes, things that you installed and configured correctly, did stop the attack, right? So they're going to love that report. In hindsight, you're going to remember all the things that stopped you. So when you go to a conference and socialize, you can talk about those defenses and find ways around them to better yourself, right? There's always positive experiences, even though on the cover it's a negative thing. So try to take positives away from every
I'm not
experience.
really going to comment on this to the end because it's
and the easiest way to do that is by stopping doing the bare minimum. If you only do what is asked, well, chances are it's not what you exactly wanted, right? So the easiest way to do more than the bare minimum is redefine done. So, for instance, when I was a sysadmin, I used to do a lot of server hardening, and I thought it was one of the silliest things to do to harden up to a certain standard because there are a lot of things I just didn't understand, right? Or I didn't find value in it. For instance, in hindsight, one of the silliest things is I hated hardening like PHP.ini files to block system commands from executing because the web application doesn't use system. So why should I worry about blocking that, right? Well, attackers can put that in, and that's good, right? Another one is like Windows has this FIPS encryption group policy that may do nothing, but it actually stopped one of my C2 tests because I used RC4 encryption, and FIPS doesn't allow RC4, or maybe it was XOR. It was one of the basic levels of encryption. I was like, wow, that FIPS standard actually blocked a lot of C2s. Who knew, right? Going beyond, no one will ever complain, and you do learn things, and it also helps convert those negatives into positives. If you're in a CTF, don't stop at the flags. Go beyond root, as me and OXDF say, right? The flags are what the machine creator forced you to do. You did it because you kind of want to do it. You may have not want to do all the things the machine creator has said, but once you root the machine, it's all you, right? You can decide what you want to do. You want to go and focus on web development. You can see how they coded the web application or coded whatever it was. You want to go into how to do secure coding. Well, you're already looking at the code. Want to go into detection? You can put like Audit D on the box and look at the logs and see what alerts you created. You can literally do anything. Once you get the flag, it's only about 50%. And lastly, when you go beyond, you often socialize and learn from others, right? So practice makes perfect. The key to success is repetition. The results are not going to be quick in this field. You can't hack time. I always say whenever you have a long-running recon task, make sure you run it first, because if you're on the very last hour and you're like, man, I didn't run SQL with Roguebuster, you'll get the result, and then it's going to be over, and you're going to hate life, right? Always start the recon tasks up front, because you can't hack time. Same with when you try to get results. If you just say, I'm going to be a hacker, I'm going to study really hard for 2 days, chances are you're not going to see results in 3 days, right? Just know you get results over time. And also, write down every win. This is going to help you understand with repetition that good things will come. Also, the mind works in mysterious ways, right? You can't just surgically remove one memory from a person, because the brain, as we understand, is this complex thing of neurons with a bunch of things going around it, right? If you just do something one time, you create one neuron to one memory, and then we do things multiple ways, you're creating more passageways there. And that just helps with memory retention, because you're strengthening that memory, right? There's a bigger network of neurons that know how to get there. That's also why if you focus on negative things or think negatively a lot of ways, it's easier to hardwire your brain to think negative. And why I think like a lot of people are in like this self-defense mode, because everyone's been so scared of COVID for the last 2 or 3 years that they've just been thinking negatively for so long. Their brain's hardwired to thinking negative because they've strengthened those neurons, not thinking about positive things. So the easiest way to rewire your brain to think positively is slow down, write down whenever you have a positive experience, because you're creating a journal of positivity. Also, you're spending more time on that, so you're strengthening the relation there. Also, socializing is going to help you a lot. Not only help you find jobs, but help you learn. So it's almost off my time. Let's get into holiday CTFs, because, well, you've got a group here doing the uni CTF. So let's take that group and do other things.
Yep, he talked about stuff. All right, so
what's going on YouTube?
All right, we're gonna stop this. So it's crazy here. We'll get into some technical stuff in a minute, but I just wanted to say my final thoughts. So you guys saw like how he began. I'm actually gonna keep this video. I mean, because we have the comments here. So my final thoughts on this. I don't want to actually show this though. I want to show his. We'll have to find a one that works here. I don't know. Presentation tool. I don't know. We're just gonna go with this for now. Webcam full. So my final thoughts on this is like, so you see how he kind of began with the matrix spoon bending, and we talked about like law of attraction and how I feel like spirituality blends with science. I'm not gonna go into that in this video because I like to keep these technical, but I mean that appealed to me. Human intuition is relevant. You went over that, you can go back. Negativity over time. What I wanted to say about this. I don't know, it'll probably come back to me. So doing a bare minimum, you see how we go into the box. Maybe I'll start calling it go beyond root. But when we go into the box and we patch it, I don't know if a lot of you guys have been taking that shit lightly or are playing that weak or sleeping on that. But every time we do that, maybe it's 2 or 3 of us, maybe it's 4 of us, but we get better at hacking by going beyond root. You feel me? Like just carpe diem. Now I know how screwed up, not only how screwed up a web app can be, but how a web app developer can do something and think that it's like legit and good. But at the same time, it just be totally like, you could do stuff, you could manipulate it. And I only know that, like I strengthen that as I get root and then look at the web app. I'm saying, damn, that's how that works. Why did they do that? Like they could have did this. and things start to make more sense as you go beyond root. So definitely 100%. If you want to know, let me just say this, like, Hack the Box and Try Hack Me are the two most valuable tools, simply because after you get root, that's your fucking lab, bro. Do whatever you want to that box. Like, you can put a C2 on it. You can put malware on it. You can sometimes what I'll do is I'll just download the source code. I'll download the source code from the web app, and it'll just be mine. You feel me? Like, they're literally giving you the game. And then, like, these services are free. Like, you can pay VIP, but they're free. So it's like, get root however you need to get root. I'm not here to judge, but then go and download shit, like break shit, like play with stuff. Like, if you're not going beyond root, which I just started doing, by the way, so I'm being a little bit hypocritical here, but if you're not going beyond root, like, you're not really doing shit, bro. So definitely, unless you already know what you're doing, then like it doesn't make sense at that point. But yeah. And then I wanted to say one final thing. Like, we're kind of getting to the end here, but one final thing I wanted to say before we get into the technical content here is, I feel like the way that you're getting better is you can talk. Like, the way that I hack now, or the way that I ethically hack now, is it's become more gamified in that, like, I can hack and do my thing while I'm talking about a different subject. So I'm not devoting a lot of brain power anymore to what I'm doing. I'm just like doing it and then talking to you guys about experiences, or talking to you about my day, or talking to you about how much it sucked to wake up in the morning, right? And I think I want to call that concept a hacking heart rate. And what I mean by that is, like, and I don't want to get too deep into this because I want to do something more interesting, right? But when you start trying to run, at first, you're gonna have, like, when you first try to run, like actual run, physical running, your heart rate is gonna go like 200 because you're not used to running. But over time, that same speed, you're gonna be down to 130, 120, 100. And that's the same way I think it is for hacking. When you hack for the first part, like, your brain is gonna be like, bro, I can't do anything else but focus on this. But over time, you're gonna be able to do it, and it's gonna take little to no effort. And you're gonna be able to talk and things like that. And so you kind of gotta track how hard it is for you to go from like, ask those questions in your head while doing something else, like while listening to music, or maybe you're washing clothes, or maybe like you may be doing multiple things at once eventually as you try to be more efficient with life. For me, I'm live streaming so that I'm paying attention to what I'm saying, and then I'm paying attention to the chat, or whatever they're calling it, the chat stream, the live stream chat, or whatever. And I'm trying to do this. So I'm answering questions while I'm hacking. So over time, you'll be able to do that if you just stay down with it. Good video though, Ippsec, bro. But, like, I'm a critiquer, and those things that I said, like, those are my honest opinions about the video. Whew. All right, so that's done. I think I don't have many people watching me right now, which is fine, bro. We don't care. We're still gonna do our thing. What was your name? What was your name on are you still here? What was your name on Battlegrounds? I'm seeing your chat thing now. That's it for the Ippsec stuff. So kind of like doing my, like, extra thing here. I don't know if you want me to share your screen or whatever, Mr. Nico, or I don't know how you want to do this. Just let me know, yo. Because I don't know, it wasn't like super clear about what you were saying. But on Battlegrounds, yo, I'm doing Battlegrounds way more than I'm doing the other thing. What is it? King of the Hill. So my Saturdays, Friday, I'm gonna do another Battlegrounds, bro. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember your name. Did you win? I don't remember. Like, I've done so many. You probably won. I didn't win any. Oh, are you the one that kicked me out? You fucker. Did you kick me out? I think you kicked me out, bro. If we played on Saturday, because I played two actually. I played one where it was like 15 minutes, and I think we tied, if I'm not mistaken. and then we played another one, and it was 2-on-2, and then somebody kicked me out. So let me go back. Maybe I'll see your name. Where is it? My channel is all over the place. Oh, I don't even see it. Here it is. SA. Let me see if I can find you, bro. Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, so you're not like the first one was Tangerine, so you had to be in the 2-on-2 then. You were, see your name here. Let me share my screen here for a minute. Wrong one. Here, yeah. Were you in this one? I'm thinking you were. Are you one of these people? Yeah, there you go. So you were. Yeah, you're the yellow guy right here. And it was you and Pawning. Yeah, that's what's up, bro. I'm glad you like my videos. So I don't know if you you did that, bro. Bro, that was you, yo. You mother. Nah, bro, that's good shit, bro. That's good shit, man. Oh man, that's good shit, man. Yo, you actually got, you got a laugh out of the subscribers, man. I don't know. That was dope stuff. Let me get rid of this here. When I checked that, I thought that the box creator did that. But that's dope, bro. I like stuff like that, yo. Bro, join the Discord, yo. Please join the Discord, yo. I'm humbled by that creativity, man. We'll give you the Discord. Hopefully, bro, you see what we're doing. I don't know if you're on a team too, but like we have a so for me, I'm not really very good at I do a lot of hack the box, but where's my thing at? I don't even know how to. I always do this. Like I forget how to invite people to the channel. Fuck. Okay, let me slow down here. Okay, this is the channel. It should be like invite server or invite. There it is. I always miss that. Bro, join, yo. We try to do stuff like this all the time. We're gonna get more organized in the future, but right now we're not organized because each time you can use as white boxes. What? I figured that. Yo, I really I had when I was doing the box, I was like, bro, could that be a thing? And something told me that was true, but then it's like I didn't really pursue that really. But that's really, really, really great advice, bro. I really appreciate that. What I'm gonna do from here on out is I'm gonna take that advice, bro, and I'm gonna try to kill it on Battlegrounds. That's really great advice. I'm gonna let Mr. Nico do his thing, and then I'm gonna be off. Let me see. Yeah, man, bro, I appreciate you stopping by, yo. This is a huge solid, man. You don't even understand, yo. Huge solid for keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing, like especially with the RDRSA thing. Like, keep doing your thing. Make a King of the Hill privileged game, private game, and I'll show you the above thing. Is it possible? Okay, so we'll King of the Hill. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now, yo, this channel, and we'll do one, but I'm gonna just for the people that are not understanding like where I'm going as a I guess as a leader and as a whatever I'm supposed to be here. I don't even know what I am, but I'm going away from King of the Hill, bro. I will do it today, but I'm not doing any more King of the Hill videos until they do better. So there's that. Unless someone like wants to specifically do a box. If someone requests that we do a King of the Hill, I want to bring my circle back too, by the way. Then we'll do King of the Hill, but like I'm just finding I'm finding Hack the Battlegrounds once we actually get in to be more interesting, because the boxes aren't like all over the place, like write-ups aren't all over the place, so people actually have to do the work to get in. I do have to start up my Calais because my system was being crazy. They did get a, oh, okay, I'm not supposed to be showing you my oh my god, why do I always do that? Oh yeah, bro, I appreciate you joining the server, man. We I want to do this Saturday, I want to do another 2-on-2. 2-on-2s are fun, and then you get 30 minutes. It's just crazy. The IDRSA thing, man, that's still hilarious. What we did, when was that? Monday? Or was that yesterday? Damn, I just feel like I'm forgetting the things that we're doing because I'm working so hard to try to make this channel a success, bro. But what we did was, what we're working on are like persistence techniques and things like that, so that we keep people out in the Discord. I know I'm working on, I am going to have a tool, but every time I do a live stream, I'm going to walk through it manually because I think that's a little bit more interesting for viewers, right? But once what I want to say here, once I actually, like, if I'm not live streaming, I'm going to use my tools to kind of like secure the box and stuff. Sudo mount, please work. Yes, that worked. So I should be able, don't do that. Sudo try hack me. And then, yeah, because like back to my thing about King of the Hill. King of the Hill is just getting too silly, bro. That's just way too silly. Which I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. Like, it made me who I am. Like, King of the Hill, when I first started, like, it was hella fun, hella addictive. But now, like, when I like do King of the Hill, like, I'll get the root flag, and then I'll do my thing, like try to secure the flag, or like try to secure what am I trying to say here? I'll secure the king.txt, and then if somebody takes it from me, I'll be like, fuck it. And if they kick me out the box, I'll be like, all right, I'm out. Like, I'm not about to fight for this thing. I don't know. Just losing a little bit of interest here. Compete, King of the Hill. Private game, and then do you want any private game, bro, or you doesn't matter? How to be faster? Oh, you want to share your screen? So yeah, my bad, bro. I'm just Space Jam box is what you said, and then we'll do 5 minutes here and create, and I guess I'll invite you. How do I invite peoples? This is the invitation link, and then we don't need to give out the spectator link, so I put it in the chat, which my shit is all over the place. I'm gonna put it in the Discord. It's fine. Later today, like 12 hours from now, which fucking sucks, by the way. 12 hours from now, I'm going to do the next Advent of Cyber. For most of you guys are like way too advanced to be sticking around for the Advent of Cyber, but if you do anyway, like, I appreciate it. I do try to give an advanced perspective on the Advent of Cyber stuff. So there's that, but I'm really doing it to kind of like show how deep my knowledge gets. It's email analysis. I'm not particularly excited about email analysis. I can't hold you, bro, because I've never had any, like, it's never been like super fun. And I don't think it's relevant to today's environment, email analysis, because all my customers use, you know, and I don't want to say what they use, but let's just say that they use third party providers for like email and stuff. So it's like it's not even relevant. So I don't even know why we're even doing email analysis, but Try Hack Me feels like it's relevant, so we'll do that today. I mean, yeah, today, later on today, if you want to stick around for that. But again, if I get 0 views, 0 participation, bro, I understand, yo. I ain't even gonna I'm not even gonna take it personally. All right, so we are in. All right. Yeah, I learned so much from you guys, man. It's crazy. I learned a lot from you guys. I just want you guys to know that like this channel is like, I don't know. Join the voice chat. So one thing that I don't want to do, I'll join the voice chat, but what I don't want to do is I'm gonna mute my thing. Does that make sense? So, because if I don't mute, then it's gonna sound weird to everybody. So we'll join that. How do I? Oh yeah, here it is. All right, so let me mute here.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Unless I guess let's make this full screen. How the fuck do I do that? I don't know if it sounds weird to the viewers
The
out
thing
there.
is, your response is coming from your live stream, so I'm currently watching your live stream.
Yeah, like I have to do one or the other, so I think you're just gonna have to take over here. What the fuck? How do I?
It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just can everyone else see it? Great. Share the screen, start activity. I wanted to make this full screen. Yeah, you can go ahead, man.
Yeah, we say.
This is not working the way I want it to work. Yeah.
So, I want to just show you the automation I use. So, like you tell before that, uh, wait, can you lower my voice? The voice is very loud on stream.
Yeah, let me try to do that. 1 second. Yeah, this is kind of weird for me. All right, how about now? Do a mic check. I probably could use my headphones
Yeah,
for this. Okay.
check.
That's still too loud. Hold on. Volume.
Check.
How about now?
Yeah, right click on me and just lower that from there. You lower the voice of live stream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you should be good now.
okay.
I think. I can't hear you now. Or did I lower everything? I don't know. This is confusing. I don't know if you guys want to like if you guys are a part of
My voice
Discord.
is not going to the stream though.
Okay. So I need headphones, which are somewhere around here. Ah, I don't have any headphones in here. I gotta go get headphones for somewhere. I'll be right back, bro. Well, it ain't hard to tell. All right, we good. I'm just gonna put these headphones on. We could. So what's happening is you're hearing yourself through the microphone. So we also have to find a way to make your screen bigger because the shit like hella small, bro. All right, so I should now be able to turn you back up, and then one more thing.
There is an option to make screen bigger. You
Yeah,
just
I was
click
looking
on
for
the
that.
screen share.
Let me just do
You'll get the option.
headphones. What? Why is this not working?
It's on bottom right.
A mic check is life or death, breathing and sniper's breath. I think I froze up here. Okay, let's try that again.
Sound is not coming to stream.
Oh, okay. I did one
Oh,
time.
now it's coming. Okay, it's good.
All right. Yeah, we should be fine now. All right. Yep. And then I think I'm gonna just leave it up to you from here.
Go to the bottom right.
Oh, here it is. Damn. Okay. Yeah, you're right. This is the best we could do here, so you guys are gonna have
There
to.
is an option for full screen.
Yeah, I just clicked it.
Yeah, and you can hide the like people.
Um,
So if you,
is it this one? Grid inbox more. Oh, there you go. Okay. Yep. I might just start wearing headphones as it is because hearing Ipsec's voice twice was probably
wait a
weird.
second, I just send you.
Here's this guy Toddy, man. Coding a vulnerable binary and installing SSH. Hmm. Script Kitty Hub. Oh, I don't know if that's still called that. What is that? Are we competing? I just thought about it. Like we're in a
A
King of the
message
Hill.
in Discord.
We're in a King of the Hill, bro. I just thought about it. I forgot totally. So I don't know. I'm not gonna do anything in there because I don't. We're watching you, bro. Nah, it's a rock whale. Are you good? Or are you waiting on me?
Yo, can we start?
Yeah. Yo, whenever you're ready. Like I'm not doing anything unless you. Did you want me to do something?
Yeah, so the thing is, you called it like, ah, no, nothing.
Yeah.
So in the like hack the box battleground, it's same like COD, but like in COD you have played like every machine, so
Yeah.
you know like everything. But when you go to like battleground, it's same. So people also can make the auto pawn for that too.
Yeah. So
Going to like show the some automation to you.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
So here's the core thing. Like this will do everything. Connect to the THM VPN and everything.
Okay.
The thing that do.
But do you do that every single? Is this a video? You're doing this pretty
They're doing
fast.
Space Jam.
You're doing this pretty fucking fast, man.
No, it's not a video.
Wow, that's quick.
I'm doing a thing.
That's fast.
I was not typing it. It's that tool that typing. It's automation.
Oh, okay, got you, got you, got you. I was about to say, damn.
Do is it will put the VMIP to my variable called VMIP.
Okay.
Nothing. I just go ahead and just pawn the box. Yeah, I'm root.
So I missed something there. So did your automated script do the routing for you, or what happened? How did you get root? I mean, I know you got an autopawn script, but like, is it like,
Everything by itself.
uh, damn? Is that because you already know the box, or did you kind of like?
So I'm going to the show the persistent thing you are playing.
Yeah, okay.
I have the same thing like you, but I have like a little bit more. Think of- Oh, what document? Oh, the persistent thing here. I have added like lots of persistent there though. It will download the tools I want. It will start the persistence. It will add my pub key to the root.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty dope. So once you get root, you just run your curl, and then yeah, that's dope. So it's like when I live stream, I'm still gonna do them step by step, just to I think it's a little bit more to walk through. But like yeah, when I'm actually competitive, like off screen, I'm gonna definitely come up with a script like that, and because
Uh,
I do want to win, but there's I guess when you're live streaming, people want to see how those things work. So I'm gonna do both, I guess, or maybe
it
not.
will
I don't
add
I
the
don't know.
additional things in my. So I can show you one of them. So if I type EU, I should get the logon person.
So if
I SSH to the thing. Wait a second. So here's me. So here, what thing I want to see the whole what this user is doing. So again. So if I type GG, so I want to get his PID. PID. I export PID equals to this.
that's how you do that.
GG watch. So now the thing is, I'm watching his whole terminal. So what he's doing, I can see the whole thing in my terminal.
Hmm, that's pretty good.
What script he run, where is current directory, and where it's everything goes.
Linux man.
Thing to his terminal though. So this was like just a monitoring thing. And now this reverse shell is not stable though. For that, I have the little script update.
Oh wow. I wish I had something like that. How the fuck does that work? How do you are you
The stable shell now.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the background running on. Let me.
Yeah, you pretty much like yeah, you could like with the stuff that you have, you could
So
win
just think
every
of
game, bro.
this is like a client you want to work on. Get my TTY, it's 6. I get his TTY, it's 7. Okay. So every PID is in like proc and the PID. So it will make some lot of default folder here. So I'm in this process folder. And if you want to see what other user is on like his current directory, you can just do like CWE. So I can see he's on like home Kali. And if he changes to like any other, which I think it's me though. It's not updating. Maybe it's someone else. It's 8, okay. Go. I can see his current working directory by this. And if you like deep a little bit down in this, you can see the what he's executing, what his attribute is. I can see his mount. Some mounts here. This is the same thing Linux boys that I forgot what his name. Yeah, so for that password sealer. So if like someone changed the password or log into the SSH, it will show up. So this is the UID, this is the PID, and this is the command who ran. Yeah, I just typed this the password.
Can you save that somewhere?
Yeah, see, like and save to the live. Whatever I type, it will come to plain text. And this is how possible with the process debugging. I just show you that one here. Uh, yeah, I just show you some of my troll though.
Yeah, Christmas tree there, bro. That's crazy.
Send this thing to the other people.
Yeah, yeah, I get it.
Like see,
Yeah,
like his PID
we gotta
to
start doing battlegrounds. Can you hear me, bro? I feel like you can't hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay.
But I can hear you on stream, not on Discord, so it's delay
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. Well, I could actually turn the Discord on back on now because I actually yeah I can turn this one back on because I have headphones on, so we could go like this.
It's better for me now.
Yeah, it would have been super weird if I did
Yeah,
that.
it was weird for me. Like I will wait for the response you get.
Yeah.
You can send stuff to the uh,
PG2.
FK to him.
we gotta maybe probably not today, but one day we have to do Windows because Windows is like
Yeah, I have something for Windows too.
yeah. I think we just need to focus more though. Just just do that for a while. Like if we could just like 'cause on King of the Hill, there's only two boxes that which sucks. So I'm thinking that
But
that's
you
dope.
know the weird thing is, Battleground don't have any Windows box.
Oh, none. Fuck, that sucks,
No, it's all of the Linux.
man. Okay, that's not. Yeah, I don't like that. I want to do my own. What do you think, man? I want to do my own site. I'm tired of. I just want to do my own thing now. Shit.
Yeah, if you're like doing your own thing like King of the Hill and Battleground, tell me. I have some box to
Yeah,
if with.
I just want to start a website and let people hack, but I want it to be more Windows stuff. If people act like they can't for whatever reason, make it even. So I want to start a website, and then I'm gonna start off with just one Windows box, and then just like make more. Maybe it's a licensing issue or something. I don't know, but I don't really care. I'm gonna do that because it would be cool if instead of for King of the Hill or something, it were Active Directory instead of just like local Windows. Like if you had to,
Yeah.
yeah, if you had to do stuff in Active Directory, then it's like not only are people learning, but you have so many users to go through. Now we have to do like more than an hour. Like, it probably take you a while to kind of
Mm.
secure Active Directory versus just the box. But I think people would have fun.
Yeah, they I would have fun though.
Yeah.
like, like the box, the Battleground is not like that. Like people are not playing that much. But like if people are playing that much Battleground too, like people are also gonna make autopwn for that also.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess they should. I mean, there's nothing saying that you can't.
Uh, I want the thing like the dynamic CTF thing, where it's like the services change, the IP change, the password change.
Which is not hard to do, but I don't understand why people don't.
Ah,
You could
don't know.
if it's just so hard to do for certain people, like all they have to do is just make multiple versions of the same box and just deploy them as versions. I just don't understand why that's not a thing,
That would be the really cool thing.
but that's just like for Space Jam, for example, you could just do Space Jam version one, two, three, or and then not reveal the version, and then you could just have
Yeah.
all different types of things. Because I like that's what offensive security does with OSCP. Like
Yeah.
they have different like it'll be the same box, but they have different versions of how to get in. And so if you share like because people started sharing the exam write ups, and so if you took you know they would know if you looked at a exam write up because you took a specific route and you were dead set on that route.
So like I make all of this and this thing also work on Hack the Box Battleground to be like more faster. Like in Hack the Box you got only 15 minutes to do a thing.
Yeah.
I'm not like going to sit manually and do my persistent thing.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you, and I don't plan to do that either. Like when I actually like am not on live stream, but I do think that on live stream, like it's more interesting to open up the persistence and kind of like
Like in Hack the Box, why you need even persistent? Like you need to be get the flag only. It's not a thing. Every 30 second, Hack the Box change the flag, and for the like when they change the flag, you get more points of the change flag.
yeah.
So
So
you need the persistence.
yes, you need persistence on those things because like if you get kicked off, you're screwed, and so.
Yeah.
It really matters there. So like you could, I've gotten kicked off on King of the Hill. I've gotten kicked off before and still won because they couldn't get King for whatever reason, and so that's the difference there. But yeah, Battlegrounds needs Windows boxes. I'm not. That's definitely not. That's not great there.
I have like lots of persistent there, like a very sneakier one that no one can even find that one though.
Yeah. I mean that's what
Yeah.
you want. That's kind of what you want.
Yeah.
But I think people have to talk too. People have to, unless people just want to. I'm glad we're more people are talking about what they're doing because um, sometimes it's kind of lonely and kind of boring when you just like not sharing. So I'm glad more people are willing to share what they're doing. 'Cause that's important. That's why we're here.
Can do Battleground if you are up for now though.
Yeah, I gotta get ready for work, man. You like so when we do battlegrounds, bro. Like it's like if we could do it as soon as I end the video content, that'll be good. Like right here, right now it's almost 6:45. What uh what we could do is what I normally do is like during my lunch break at work, I'll jump on battlegrounds. So if you want to do that, it won't be live stream, but I can hit you up in the Discord and we could do a
Yeah,
battlegrounds real quick.
just DM me. I will be. I'll ping you back if I there.
Yeah, and then also on Friday, how many more days we got? On Friday, Friday is going to be a full battlegrounds live stream. Friday and Saturday, so we'll get like plenty of opportunity
Like
to do that.
won the 4v4 though on Friday and Saturday.
What's that? What'd you say?
4v4, like 2v2.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I want to do. I don't want to. If we have to do one versus one, then fine. But I would rather do all four. So we got to get some other guys from the Discord to meet up, and we'll do that, and it'll be fun. It'll be real fun. Yeah, man. I appreciate this, man. This was really good. And I'm gonna get off, bro. And
No worries.
yeah, man, no doubt. And everybody else, thank you for watching, and leave some feedback on the video, and let me know what you think about some of the things that Ipsec did. Said for the most part, probably 99% solid Ipsec in what he was saying. Um, but I'm always gonna be that guy that like take the risk of offending people to critique them fairly. And I didn't have very many bad things to say about what he was saying, but I'm always gonna be that guy. So if I do have to tear a person's video apart, I do it out of love and respect for the realm, not to get views or not to, be sensational. I do it so that people improve. And I give a fuck about the views if people aren't bettering themselves. So I hope nobody looks at the reaction video and says, "Okay, well, this guy's trying to like get clout or tarnish this guy's name." Though, when you do things that like that for the community, I'm affected. People that I care about are affected. So I'm definitely going to take an interest. And Ipsec is fucking solid, bro. What can you say? He's doing his thing, bro. So you know. But that's just a warning to all you YouTubers out there. Is like not like a warning, just putting you on notice. Like, don't put out content and expect it not to be scrutinized, especially with guys like me, because um, we don't want you poisoning the well. 6:45. I'm out. I'll see you guys in 12 hours if you do attend when we talk about email analysis. Peace.